Well, hey everybody, it's been a hot minute. This is Jesse Knox with Beast to Burn podcast. So today, what I want to bring up to everyone's attention, I want to talk about CRP. It's getting that time of year again. For those that are in the program, I don't know what it means for you guys that are in a general sign up. A little birdie may have informed me. This is a very passing quick birdie too. The continuous practice may be fine. It's really hard to say with the new administration coming in. I'm happy about it, but at the same time, there's going to be some stuff on the chopping block, as we know from the Farm Bill that was extended. They took I don't know how many billions of dollars they killed from conservation funds. Pheasants Forever reported on that. Which, quick side note, the current administration got their shit together and spent money on American soil. We probably could have had that money, but priorities, I guess, right? We can let flood victims in North Carolina suffer, but oh no, we gotta fund other efforts, which I don't want to get controversial. This is a habitat hunting show, but at the same time, it's very infuriating as an American, as it should be. But that's what happens, and you lose really big funds for that. But it looks like continuous should be okay. What I understand now in the state of Iowa, they're trying to figure out the current rates. So I want to share a few things. I'm going to pull up this real quick right here, and hopefully y'all don't need to see all my personal stuff, but we'll make this very quick and everything. So essentially, if you are up for re-enrollment, I'm going to save you a lot of hassle. You got a couple months. This is not a requirement by any means, but it will definitely make your life a lot easier, and your CRP clerk at FSA office way more easier. Their life easier as well. If you are going to be changing anything in your contract, you've had it for 10 or 15 years, and you're like, I'm glad of what I did, but there's some things I'm not really sure about. So what you can do is write a letter, kind of have a list of things, talk to I don't know about your different states. I have a good friend who is a private lands biologist who knows the CRP rules. He's kind of like a CPA for CRP. The CPA, a really good one, knows all their tax laws. Well, he knows all the CRP laws and rules. So that's a huge benefit. So we've had multiple conversations the past 2-3 years since my contract's coming up. And as I've gone down the habitat rabbit hole, there's a lot of things I want to keep the same. There's quite a few things I want to change. So in this letter, I just list about 10 things. And the thing is, you are not negotiating, okay? Because this is pretty much what they have to offer, and you have to open mind, do your research, hop online. For example, you can just do some research at USDA, have all your information right here, right? And do your information, see what qualifies. Now, for one, I'm in a CP23, which is a wetland. All this pretty much in the CP23. Now they changed the rules from 15 years ago. You need to have a wetland because the CP23 is about preserving a wetland. Well, I don't have a wetland. So luckily, continuous CRP offers 90% cost share as of now. And I can go down to 18 inches, what they call chili dipping. Pretty much you're just making a dip in your wetland to create an ephemeral pool. You're not making a permanent pond or wetland. You're making an ephemeral pool. Since I have a creek flows through in here, very good chance we'll have flooding, and really just trying to capitalize on flooding. It's going to be a benefit for me who wants to hunt early teal, maybe some fall duck season if we have enough water. If we don't, I'll focus my attention somewhere else. But it's going to be a benefit for habitat and the ducks and waterfowl that flow through here, right? So that's a big one, saying, hey, I am interested in re-enrolling my CEP23. I'm totally fine putting a wetland in, but also this field here, it has old clay tile in it and it's collapsed. And so I'm asking them in my note, hey, we should do tile search, there's cost share for that. And my contractor will go through and find them. I think thanks to the soil technician who will come out and look at it too. Which, by the way, if you have a good soil technician in your county, I get to know him because a good one like ours is, he does not want to see CP23s go away. He wants to make it simple and easy for the landowner if they are okay with the wetland. And the nice thing about a wetland is how they're doing it. It's an ephemeral pool. In 10 years, you're like, oh, I don't want this anymore. Fill it back in. You're done. It's not a big deal. So the clay tile here, it's trashed. And if anyone's going to farm it again, we probably put a regular tile in anyway. But I'm not interested in doing that in my lifetime. So now another note here, actually, CP23 allows trees. I want to add some trees. I don't know how many I'm allowed to, but I love to get crazy with big tooth aspen, white oak, swampy, some black walnut, good stuff, pin oak. Also now they allow food plots for CP23. I'm mentioning, hey, I want to put a food plot in there too, the maximum amount, which I have a food plot bordering the 23. It's not in it. It's a separate field, but I would love to add it onto that food plot. So these are just things you need to mention to them. So they have a game idea, go, oh, this landowner is serious. We have a game plan. We know what we're looking for. We can go from there. Now, and, it's just about building a relationship with your CRP clerk. You don't have to be weird about it, but, I know we've had that saying, oh, I'm from the government here to help, and that's kind of a joke. But keep in mind, the people that work at your USDA office, okay, they're your neighbors. These are not someone from Washington, D.C. These are not the people that are raiding Amish farms for selling raw milk, okay? These are people that live down the road from the office. They've grown up in the county. They're from the county. It's their home like it's your home, unless, you're from there, right? They're there. They are there to help serve their neighbors. So when you go in there to sign up, or I don't care if it's for CRP or we're going to enter CS for equip funds or CSP, or you're re-enrolling, treat them with respect. These people live down the road from you, or maybe they're county over, but they're from the area. They're about serving you. Okay. You are a customer. So keep that in mind. It's different when you have people coming from far, far away to dictate how you do your land here. That's a different story. So, and also it's your land. You just need to know what you're comfortable with. And, they're not there to shove things down your throat. They're there to ask to serve what your needs are, what they have available. Now, I don't have a lot of time to talk right now, but there is an option if my soils are not hydronic, which I have screwed around the website soil survey. These down here have some hydronic. We'll see what the soil technician says. I think we're going to get back in, but guys, see, I might convert it to, I believe it's called a CP31, or maybe it's a CP32B, which is a bottomland hardwood tree planting. And I want to say, if you are interested in signing up for a tree planting for CRP, go for a 15-year contract, because there are going to be very minimal requirements to take care of it besides your obvious duties. Which, by the way, when you sign up for CRP, everyone listening right now who's against it or for it or in the program, look, when you sign on the dotted line, that dotted line, there's a statement above there says this money is allocated to preserve and maintain your seeding. So you have an obligation to the taxpayers and the American citizens and public to do your due diligence and maintain your prairie. This, I had spot checked, and they all said, you don't have to do a damn thing. Well, I'm kind of a nut job, and I'm going to seed forbs and add trees down here. I'm going to do way more than it's allocated for, because I want to maximize the diversity, and I owe it to the taxpayer. It's like seeing a bridge being built, and they do a shitty job, and you're like, man, I can't believe my tax dollars went to that. But they build a good bridge. You're like, wow, this is great. This is such a big improvement. Like, there's roads in our county. They had a contractor come in, did a beautiful job, smooth as can be, smooth as glass, which is hard to ask for county blacktop roads. But I'm like, okay, finally, our tax dollars in our county went to where it needs to go to, and I'm fine with that. Same thing when someone's visiting my farm, they saw a lush prairie with scattering of trees planted on purpose, not like cottonwoods and what's another one? Box elder invading. I haven't done anything with it in years, and I have ceresia, honeysuckle taking over my prairie. They're going to see a very well-maintained, managed land. They're going to see pheasants cackling and see butterflies and all kinds of insects and deer frolicking. I mean, that's what they're going to see, and they go, wow, this is what CRP is supposed to be like. I'm not bragging. I don't care. I don't worship the program. I'm just very adamant about doing the best job I can on my farm, period, right? So those are things you can look into, but pretty much but what I was going to say, back to my little rant, if you're going to do another CP23 or a 25 or a pollinator or whatever, I would sign up for a 10-year contract. Because my dad did 15, I think that's all they had available. But what happens is, for 15 years, I've been able to ride a certain wave of, what do you want to call it, rental agreements, the rental rate agreement, and they have definitely gone up. Now, I will say, I think I'm pretty I'm pretty happy with my rental rate. My dad signed up for it 15 years ago, but there's money on the table. Even if it's 10, 15, 20 bucks an acre, it adds up if you got a lot of acres. So I would recommend if you're doing a 42, a 25, a 2, whatever, 23, ask for a 10-year contract agreement instead, because in 10 years, probably those rental rates are going to go up a little bit more and you can capitalize on that. Trees, I would shoot for 15 years. And I believe as of now, they only allow you to re-enroll twice or have a sign up that particular partial for twice. So if I agree to do all this in a bottomland hardwood tree planting, 30 years of rental rate. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do after 30 years if that's an option I have down the road. So we'll see what happens. But get this letter typed up. Think of a good game plan. One big thing down here is I want to add 30-foot green fire breaks. See, I'm all my CRP, I got to till all this. And this is all, 10-foot tall Indian grass and big Bluestem. I'm safe how I burn, but I got to till this. And this is all highly erodible land. Dude, I'm tired of tilling it. I'm really tired of tilling it. So we're going to do a 30-foot green fire break around the whole thing. Keep it mowed. Way better access, way better soil erosion control. It's just going to be better off for everything. Okay. Now I will say, see this acres up here. This is all these tree fields are in a 25, a general. Generals might be on the chopping block. However, this is considered highly erodible land. And I might be able to enroll this into a continuous practice of highly erodible land initiative. So have your facts straight. Do some research, ask a lot of questions. If you want to continue your farm in CRP, you don't want to be in my shoes and you're like, oh, well, this tall prairie, I'm going to have to do something with. Either I'm going to have to, if I'm out of the program, I may have to bail it to get income or farm it. I don't want to farm this. So whatever they offer to you, you just go, okay. As long as it meets your goals and objectives. Obviously, you don't want to sign up for something. You're like, oh, I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm doing. That's a different story. But so there is ways to get around some of the stuff so you can maintain a decent farm income, maintain your habitat and diversity for your farm, and just have a better off legacy for the next 10, 15 years overall. So I hope you found this helpful. Get that letter typed up. Be nice, be respectful to your CRP clerk. They're usually a nice lady that just, like serving her community, So be respectful. And yeah, that's all for now. I got to get going. Thanks a lot for watching. And we will talk more about this later. And because we got a lot going on here and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Thanks for watching.